Podcasters are throwing away millions, but this AI system didn't help you grab your share. Most podcasters are sitting, in my opinion, on a gold line, and they don't even know it. They spend hours recording episodes, interviewing guests, sharing their own insights, but after they hit publish, that content just sits there, forgotten. Meanwhile, smart entrepreneurs, people who don't even record podcasts themselves, are using AI to take those lost episodes and turn them into viral content and make thousands of dollars a month. And this is a system where AI does 90% of the work. I mean, it's the content goldmine that most people are ignoring. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to grab your share. Even if you don't have a podcast, and if you don't create any content, even if you have no experience. Look, I've been running an agency for the past probably more than 3 years, and business is going great. But recently, a podcaster approached us with a problem. She wanted to work with us, but he couldn't afford it. And he was creating amazing content, but he wanted a way to reach more people. YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, and clearly going the traditional way wouldn't have worked for him because it would have cost a fortune. He was thinking, what alternatives does he have instead of hiring editors and writers and social media managers? Because even then, it would still take weeks to turn one episode into content. So we sat down together and we thought, if there has to be a better way, there always is. There had to be a way to turn all that unused content into money without being same costs. And that's when we realized AI makes content repurposing effortless. With just a few tools, he could turn his own long-form podcasts into viral shorts, high-quality blog posts, full social media strategies without hiring anybody. And that's not for us. We don't do that at the moment. But I mean, you could, and it's incredibly lucrative. Because honestly, I think anybody can do this. You don't need to be an editor. You don't need to be a writer or content creator. All you need is the AI and this simple system. Because look, most people think that making money means creating something from scratch, a product, a course, or a brand. But the most successful companies don't own the thing they sell. I mean, look at Airbnb. They're worth $85 billion. And to this day, they don't own a single hotel. They profit by connecting supply and demand. Same with Uber. They're worth over $100 billion, but they own no cars. Their real asset is the platform. Same with Netflix. They built a $250 billion empire, but they'd not created movies until recently. They only licensed it, distributed, and controlled access to those movies. Same with Amazon. Very few of the products they sell belong to them. Most belong to third-party sellers. You see the pattern here, right? This is not luck. It is a known business model. Jeffrey Carker in The Platform Revolution explains that the companies that dominate industries are not the ones creating product. They're the ones controlling the infrastructure. And really think about it. Airbnb does not rent out real estate. It profits from moving it. Netflix does not create most of its content. It distributes it better than anyone else, and same with all the other ones. And honestly, now with AI, it lets you do the same with podcast content. And I've seen this in a Harvard Business Review study a while back. They found that businesses actually have connectors between supply and demand. Instead of creating everything themselves, they grow exponentially faster than traditional businesses. Why is that? You might be wondering, well, because they leverage other people's assets. They don't sell products, they sell access. Now let's bring this back to podcasters, because every day thousands of them record hours of high-value content. As I said, expert interviews, deep insights, powerful discussions, but once that podcast gets published, if content disappears into the void. But if you look at the demand, especially for that repackaged high-quality insights type of content, higher than ever. Busy professionals need summarized takeaways. They don't have time for full podcasts. Bloggers and newsletter creators, they need fresh content, but they don't have time to research. Same with YouTube, TikTok. They reward consistency, but most podcasters don't repurpose their episodes, let alone LinkedIn or Twitter. They're obviously exploding with thought leadership content, but podcasters are not extracting their best insight into bite-sized pieces and creating posts out of those. So really, the supply is there, the demand is there, but podcasters are not bridging the gap. And that's where AI repurposing comes in, because you don't need to start a podcast to make money. You don't need to create content from scratch. All you need to do is to own the system that connects the podcasters to the bigger audience. And AI does the heavy lifting for you. You just need to state your cut. This is how modern wealth is built, not by owning things, but by owning the system that moves the thing. So over the next few minutes, I want to show you exactly how to do it. First type of content is short form. Most people upload a podcast and hope for views, but the smartest creators repurpose their episodes into viral clips. And AI makes this super easy. I mean, it's literally effortless. Short form video is the fastest way to grow an audience today. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, they're pushing short videos harder than ever. So these podcasters who don't have time to cut, edit, and optimize their episodes into engaging clips would really benefit from this type of support. So that is where AI can be very supportive for you, because instead of spending hours scrubbing through the long episodes and looking for key moments and manually editing, AI can find the best parts and format them automatically. So here's how you do it. Number one, you upload the podcast episodes to either Riverside or Opus Clip. You can choose your platform. I'm not being sponsored by any of these. These tools are able to scan the entire episode, detect the most engaging moment, and then pull out the highlights that are likely to go viral. Next, you can let AI do the auto edit. It will add captions and zoom effects, jump cuts. It'll do all the things that are needed to keep the viewer engaged without you touching a thing. Sure, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be what a professional editor can do, but it's, better than nothing, right? Now, all that's left for you to do is review and export. AI handles the heavy lifting, but a quick check ensures that everything flows naturally. Sometimes the way that these tools or others are going to cut that long episode into those bite-sized chunks might not be perfect. So you really want to make sure that you trim the edges, so to speak. Now, step number 4 is, if you also offer to do this, you can go ahead and upload and optimize. You can use vidIQ, you can use TubeBuddy. They're going to give you some insights on best performing titles or descriptions or hashtags if you choose to use them, so that your video does as best as possible. That's literally it. You have just turned one podcast into loads of short engaging videos without spending hours on editing. And I think the really cool part is that this alone is enough for you to charge podcasters a few hundred, if not 1,000, if several thousand a month. They already know short form content is key for growing their brand, but they don't want to do the work. So you're solving that problem for them. Now, short form video is just one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about how to turn podcast episodes into highly shareable LinkedIn and Twitter posts, because that's where the big growth nowadays lies. So how do you do that? Text-based content is still, in my opinion, king for authority building. So on platforms like LinkedIn or Twitter X, people don't want to watch full videos. They want that quick, valuable takeaway that they can read in seconds and, just know. And AI makes that super easy for you to extract. So how you do it is basically you upload the podcast transcript, which you can either get from Riverside, or you can upload the video into Descript and then you can get the transcript. You can upload that either into Notebook LM or into ChatGPT. These tools are going to scan the conversation and they're going to pull out all the most important quotes and takeaways and discussion highlights, and then you can turn those insights into social posts, because AI can summarize the main ideas into the tweet-sized thoughts. It can write LinkedIn posts or even generate engaging Twitter threads based on the episode. Now, clearly, there is some work that you need to do as well, because you want to make sure that the content is optimized for engagement. So on LinkedIn, short paragraphs, hooks work the best. On Twitter, you want the thread style storytelling. Usually that's what keeps people reading. And then clearly you want to post and let AI boost performance. You can use tools to also schedule the posting, so you can automate that as well. You don't have to deal with posting one by one. So clearly, by doing this, one podcast episode turns into daily LinkedIn posts, into Twitter threads, and super engaging social discussions. Okay, but I want to take this even further, because those are short form posts, right? But imagine what the podcaster can do with the long form content that is SEO optimized, because most podcasters record great conversations, but they fail at making those conversations searchable. So you want to look into SEO optimized show notes and transcripts. I already explained how you get the transcript is as easy as uploading the video or the audio into Descript and then extracting the transcript. It's going to also give you the timestamps so you can have that. But you also want to go one step beyond that and get the timestamps and optimize it for SEO. Because what you want to do is make sure that those show notes are going to boost discoverability on Google. They're going to improve the podcast rating on Apple or Spotify or wherever the podcast is published, and provide keyword-rich content for social media and blog repurposing, which we're going to talk about in a moment. The problem, as I said, is that podcasters do not have the time to write those detailed, structured show notes. So AI can do that work. for them. As I said, go ahead to Descript, go to Otter AI, go to Notebook LM, and you can get the transcript. Make sure that you also get the timestamps. Then these tools are going to analyze that conversation, and they're going to give you not only that, but they can also give you a summary. You can take the whole transcript and the summary and go to Claude AI or ChatGPT and ask for the detailed show notes with a compelling intro that hooks listeners with key timestamps so people can jump to the important moments with main takeaways, quotes ideally for SEO and social sharing, and relevant links to any resources that might have been mentioned in the episode. And once you have that, your next step is to optimize for Google and podcast platforms. So you can use either Surfer SEO or simply Google's keyword planner, and you can find high-ranking podcast-related keywords. Then you can add searchable phrases like best AI tools for content repurposing in our case to help rank on Google. And last but not least, you want to ensure that Apple Podcasts and Spotify pull the right metadata for search visibility. There you go. You have turned the transcript into show notes that are actually optimized and searchable. Now, there is a next step. Actually, there's two more that we want to go through. The next one is creating long form. Because sure, AI can create short form, it can create show notes, but it can also create blog posts or email sequences in minutes. So take the same transcript, go back to Notebook LM or Claude or ChatGPT and ask these tools to help you analyze the episode and structure it into blog ready format. You can complete it with key takeaways, with subheadings, with summaries, but it's basically done and you already have the keyword optimization from the previous step. So Surfer SEO, Neuron Writer, there is plenty of tools that can help you do that. Now I want to move into something even more visually engaging, and that is creating Instagram carousels or Facebook posts using AI, because what you can do now is go back to Notebook LM or to ChatGPT where you have your transcript and then ask it to review the transcript, pick the main topics of conversation, and then give you input for those Instagram carousels or for Facebook posts. Because what it can do is it can pick the topics, it can pick quotes, but it can also help you write a really beautifully phrased content that can go into those carousels. And now you're thinking, okay, but how am I going to do the visuals? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. So stay tuned because I'm going to walk you through that. Once you have those lines of what you want to put into your carousel, you want to put that into a table. It can be an Excel, a Google spreadsheet, it doesn't matter. And then you want to go to Canva and go to the app that is called Bulk Create. That's a feature that Canva has where you can pick a format. You can adjust the brand colors, the images, whatever you prefer, and then you can give the source. And the source is going to be your existing table where you put all the input that ChatGPT or Notebook LM has given you. But what you want to keep in mind is that either you can import that as a CSV or you can just copy all of the cells if there's not too many and then put them into Canva and then generate. That's all you got to do, and you've got beautifully designed carousels based on the exact same content. Last but not least, you can schedule and automate the posting. As I said earlier, you can use Publer, you can use Later. There's plenty of tools that allow you to schedule a full month's worth of carousels or content in general in just one session, which essentially means that one podcast episode can turn into 20 plus visually beautiful, engaging, shareable pieces of content that you will have designed mostly using AI. So how do you monetize this? That's the $1 million question, okay? Well, AI allows you to offer this as a high-ticket done-for-you service that podcasters are going to gladly pay for because they don't have to pay for an entire production team. So, first of all, structure your pricing package. You can charge per number of pieces of content that you generate. So, I don't know, you can say, I'm going to charge a few hundred for a couple shorts and reels. Or you can add to that the show notes that are SEO optimized, and you can maybe add a LinkedIn post. You can charge a pro package where you give everything in the basic one, but then you give blog posts as well. Maybe you give a newsletter. You can maybe give more shorts or more reels. You can add a couple Instagram carousels. And last but not least, you can have a premium package, which can be a couple thousands a month, where you can give everything, including, I don't know, competitor analysis or podcast growth consulting if that's something you specialize in, or unlimited content repurposing for all of their episodes. And all you need to do is start with 2 or 3 clients at a couple $1,000s a month, and you're already at $5,000 to $10,000. If you scale that to 5 or 10 clients, then this is a 6-figure business. Okay, so now the question is, where do you find these clients? Actually, podcasters already know they need repurposing. So all you need to do is go and find them where they already congregate, which is on Twitter or X or on LinkedIn. You can just DM them. You can search for podcast host on Twitter, for example, or on LinkedIn, and you can DM them. And by the way, I'm going to create a free ebook, which we're going to link down below, that is going to give you all the steps that I walked you through, including the DM template, so that you can use that and reach out to the podcasters so you can help them. The second way that you can reach out to them is through guest outreach. So you can look up guests who appeared on multiple podcasts in your niche. These are people that are actively trying to build their brand, and they often don't have a team repurposing their interviews. So you can reach out to them and say, hey, I've seen you on so-and-so podcast and this one, you're doing amazing. Are you turning those episodes into viral clips or social posts? By the way, I can help you with that. Or you can go to Facebook groups, or Reddit communities. Those are always really, really great sources of leads. You can join the conversation, you can add value there, and you can offer your services wherever they come in handy and of service to someone. Last but not least, obviously, you can go to Upwork or Fiverr and you can leverage the inbound leads on autopilot. So you just need to create a profile and say that you are an AI-powered podcast repurposer, so to speak, and you can price your services there, and that's basically it. You will just wait for people to come and approach you. Now, a pro tip here, you can offer one free sample clip to get clients hooked. Once they see the value, it's going to be a lot easier for them to opt in for a bigger package. Now, in terms of how you scale, as I said, you can build this into a whole agency. You can hire assistants to help you run the AI tools, or you can offload the work. You can build a team of content managers that are maybe specialized by industry. You can create a subscription model where you offer ongoing content repurposing for a certain amount per month per client, or you can look into agents, because agents are able to essentially do every single step that I mentioned on autopilot. All you have to do is have a human in the loop to check the quality. But other than that, you don't have to do any of the steps manually. So let me know in the comments down below if this is something of interest to you. If so, I can always bring my husband in one of the videos and he can show you how you can create those agents that are able to do all of this work for you on autopilot. And then you just do the lead generation, the business development, and cash in, I guess. Alright, you guys, that was it for today. I really hope this was helpful. I hope it was insightful and you found something interesting to do. Let me know in the comments down below if this is something you want to try out, or if you have already, let me know how it went and what are your insights, what worked, what didn't work. Remember to go grab the free ebook. I've put everything I talked about today in that ebook, so don't worry, you don't have to pay anything. You can just download it and have it as I go through step by step. In case you want to go back and rewatch the video, make sure you save it if you want to come back and go through it one more time. Share it with anyone in your circle of friends or family who you think might be interested in doing this. Like it if you did, subscribe if you haven't done so, and until next time, I suggest you go ahead and watch this video or here. Bye.